What's up, guys? Welcome to Among the Fence, my YouTube channel where I do music reviews. My name is Aaron, and if you got anything you may check out, leave a comment below letting me know what it is. It'll be featured on an upcoming Request Wednesday. And if you do that, or you just happen to like what you see here and you enjoy music reviews in the metalcore, death metal kind of genres, I'd like to encourage you to subscribe and ring the bell icon. That way you don't miss out on any of my future content. You don't have to go looking for my channel or search YouTube for me. It just helps me to help you. And plus, I'm so close to 500 subscribers. I'm at like 497 or something like that, which is already mind-blowing to me that almost 500 people would care enough about what I think about music to want to continually listen to what I think about music. But anyways, today we're going to be checking out the new album Eternal Blue by the band Spiritbox. Eternal Blue is the first album to be released by the Canadian metalcore band since 2016, and I use the term metalcore very loosely because they honestly operate in a variety of different genres, from like post-metal to gent and prog metal to alt metal. They do a lot. They're very talented musicians, and their vocalist Courtney LaPlante is also very, very talented, from having very beautiful clean vocals to very distorted growling vocals, which also sound amazing. And they had a pretty rough 2 years since 2000 and basically since 2020. A lot of bands and music had a very rough time, but they were in the middle of recording this album, which got put on hold. And this whole thing was basically a 2-year process. Since 2019, they first released their first single, Holy Roller, and after that they just kept building on it, and then all of a sudden 2020 and it got put on hold. And then they started the tour with Limp Bizkit, and that basically ended after I think like 2 shows. They've just had a really rough time. The album opens up with the first song, Sun Killer, which has a synthy intro that builds and builds as different sounds and instruments start joining in, and beautiful vocals are very slow and they're drawn out. And then once we get to the chorus, the vocals are isolated where almost everything cuts out. And it's not really what I was expecting from the chorus at all. It's very like Evanescence-esque in a way. But then the second chorus is huge. This song is kind of like a slow burn, but it's not really slow. So I guess it's just kind of a burn. And then once you get to the outro, it's so haunting, and there's like this, it's like a twist at the end of it. And the second song, Hurt You, has this buzzing guitar riff and thick drums that stick around to the verse while everything else cuts out. And the vocals are they're just straight fire. And then they're pure beauty in the chorus, and the metaphors in the song are great. I love the enunciations and the distorted vocals. It really brings out the aggression in the song while also making the clean vocals stand out that much more. They sound more gentle, and there's a lot more emphasis on them. And the bridge is super heavy. And this whole song is just it's a very full sounding song. There's just a lot of different sounds going on. You could basically take in something different the more and more you listen to it. One of my favorite songs on the album is Secret Garden, which comes in very quick with clean vocals in the verse and a very dynamic guitar section. And verse 2 has this like really gnarly bass line that's pretty proggy and, dare I say, genty. It has a very like feel-good vibe to it. The chorus is bouncy and shows off a higher vocal range for Courtney, and the lyrics are very poetic. And the song, to me, is just, it's sonically addicting. This was one of the singles that was released, and if I would have reviewed it by itself, this one probably would have got like a 4.7 out of 5. I love this song so much. And then we have Holy Roller, which kind of keeps the theme of a garden going, but it's so much heavier than Secret Garden. And the robotic vocal effect was it was kind of okay. Wasn't really a huge fan of that, but the distorted vocals in the chorus make up for it for sure. And the verse is just pure anger. This song's kind of, it's all over the place, to be honest. It reminds me a lot of like a Silent Planet track, and the bridge is just absolutely insane. It's crazy how hard Courtney could push her vocals, and just her vocal breakup and the distortion. It's absolutely insane how low they can go. And then the transition back into the final chorus is just, it's perfection. There's not really any song on this album that I hate or dislike, but if I had to pick one that I found myself liking the least amount, it would probably be Yellowjacket featuring Sam Carter from Architects, which honestly breaks my heart because when I saw the feature, I was like, this song's going to be sick. It's got like this staticky stop and go kind of intro that continues into the verse. The bridge before the second verse, which features Sam, I mean, it's pretty sick, and their duet in the chorus is really good as well. The bridge has this nice dynamic feel to it. The lyrics are very well written. I don't know. I just felt like they could have done more with this song, not just in the vocal feature, but all around, like musically, vocally, all. It just wasn't as creative as the other songs on this album. And to me, it's the most forgettable song on this album. Again, not saying I hate it. It's just the one I found myself just going, it's okay compared to the rest. But then to keep the kind of groovy prog thing that they had going from before, the song directly after it, The Summit, is very groovy and proggy in the verse, and the vocals are gentle and kind of breathy. The chorus is a solid hook that makes you want to start bobbing your head. The atmosphere in this whole song is very light, but the vocals bring so much weight in terms of emotion to it. I'm not really a fan, again, of the robotic kind of vocal effect in the bridge, but also, again, the distorted vocals make up for it. And even though everything in the song, like the clean vocals in this are very, like I said, breathy and gentle, the distorted vocals don't really overpower that and overwhelm it. It's done just right. One of the weirder songs on this album is We Live in a Strange World, which has some kind of weird music in the background with evenly paced vocals. The chorus is absolutely beautiful, and the music sounds like it's got like this swelling or maybe like a reverse kind of effect on it. The second chorus brings the heat though, with tons of distortion and very powerful drums. And the final chorus just has great rhythm to it. The song just continually seems to evolve. And even though it's weird, I found myself still enjoying it quite a bit. And then the song directly after it, which is Halcyon, I believe that's how it's pronounced. It means a period of time in the past that was idyllically happy and peaceful. And I had to look up what idyllically meant, which it basically means like beautifully peaceful or perfectly peaceful in a way. That being said, the song is pretty dang heavy while also being very pretty at the same time. It's got some slow drums with kind of like a splashing sounding snare drum in the intro that kind of puts you in like a dreamlike state, mixed with great imagery and the lyrics. The music in the chorus is huge, but the vocals kind of keep the peace by being calm and gentle. But then the outro breaks that up completely with a huge growl and just like a very droning riff that just keeps going and going. The song's very unpredictable, to say the least. Silk and the Strings has a cool, dynamic, unique, and kind of weird riff to it, which I still enjoyed quite a bit. The pre-chorus has some suspense before it goes into the chorus, which is very high octane, has tons of energy, and it's very in your face. The vocals are pretty vicious. Like the cadence and the enunciation in them is very aggressive. The breakdown is phenomenal and it hits so hard. Then you have the title track song Eternal Blue, which has some like lo-fi style music in the verse. Then the guitar comes in while the clean vocals continue to lull you away. The chorus has some great orchestration and tons of emotion. The riff in the second verse, it just hits just right about halfway through and it sounds so good. But in the breakdown, the chugging guitar tone is it's kind of very generic sounding. Wasn't a huge fan of it, but the lead melody in the breakdown is sounded phenomenal. And then the final chorus reaches a peak emotion and it just climaxes just right. I did a review on Circle With Me, which was one of the singles that was released. I gave it a 4 out of 5. And it's probably my favorite song on the album, to be completely honest. It's tons of emotion in it, and the performances on it are fantastic. It feels a lot like a dream. And Courtney's vocals in the chorus, how they just go up and down, it's just so intoxicating. And it's so simple, but I just can't get enough of it. I'd probably give it a higher rating, closer to like maybe a 4.8 out of 5 now that I've heard it in the context of the entire album. And then you have the closing track titled Constance, which is a very sad song about losing a loved one before you actually lose them. Courtney's grandma passed away in 2020, but she wasn't able to travel to see her grandma to say goodbye, unfortunately. So she basically heard her grandma was passing away, and in that moment had to deal with the fact that she's already gone before she was actually gone. It's very sad. It's got a very smooth drum part to it, and the metaphor and the lyrics are just beautiful. It's definitely a tearjerker, and the kind of like groovy, dare I say funky guitar in verse 2 adds some color to the song and a little bit of lightheartedness as well. It's a fantastic finisher to this album, which is, it's kind of an emotional roller coaster without you realizing it. By the time you get to the end of this album and you listen to Constance, you've gone through a journey, but you weren't really aware. It doesn't feel very long. It keeps you entertained throughout the entire thing. While I loved this album, I gotta say that I didn't really find myself loving every song on it. I'm starting to get the hype that everybody has for Spiritbox, but I'm still kind of missing it on some songs. I just had a really hard time connecting with some of these. For instance, like I said, Yellowjacket. I couldn't really get into it. And then the song Hurt You, and even Sunkiller was just it. They were just songs to me compared to the rest of the songs on this album. Like once I got to Secret Garden, Holy Roller, Eternal Blue, The Summit, which the Summit was just still kind of a little interesting as well. Constance, Secret Garden, like these songs, they were just so mesmerizing. They're so good and they're so different. They weren't what I was expecting this to be at all. The songwriting in them was fantastic. They sometimes backed out on the aggression and the distorted vocals, and other times they just went in with it full force. But again, like on the songs I didn't really connect with, I was just like, once I listened to them, I was like, okay, yeah, that was a song, that was music, that was metalcore. It wasn't really anything different, really revolutionary. Basically what I expected from this genre of music. It just didn't stand out to me all that much. And honestly, I'm kind of rambling because I really wanted it to stand out to me. I didn't go into this album being like, okay, this is completely overhyped. You know, like, let's kind of tear it down a little bit. But I could not get into them. And I really wanted to. That being said, I really only found myself loving maybe 4 to 5 songs on this 12-song album. And the rest of them were just a little bit above average, to say the least. So with all that said, I got to give Eternal Blue by Spiritbox a 7.3 out of 10. I know that rating is going to piss a lot of people off because this is album of the year for a lot of people. And like I said, I loved a lot of songs on this, and a lot of them I found to me personally, because I couldn't connect with them, they were just barely above average. But at the same time, I get it. I understand why this is an album of the year for you guys. I totally get it. This album sounds phenomenal all the way through. Beautiful songwriting. The production on it's fantastic. But I still want to know what you guys think. Leave a comment below letting me know what you thought of Eternal Blue and what you would rate it. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Leave a comment below letting me know what I should review next. I hope you guys all have a good rest of your day or night whenever you happen to be watching this, and I will talk at you guys next time.
I was